Hey guys, and welcome to the video. So today I'd like to talk about a topic which I've been getting asked about quite frequently recently, and that is how do I burn fat from a certain area in my body? So for example, my belly, my back, my hips or my thighs. So let's get into the video. Right, so it's really popular to do certain exercises for certain areas of the body that people want to lose fat on. So for example, sit-ups for the belly or the adductor machine for the inner thigh and things like that. However, unfortunately, there's no such thing as spot reduction. So doing an exercise for fat in a certain area of the body. And I'll get on to a bit more about why that is in a second. But before, I just like to explain a bit more about fat distributions in men and women. So genetically, men and women store body fats differently. Men tend to naturally have a lower body fat and store it more in their upper body and as a visceral fat, so around their organs. Whereas women tend to store most of their body fat or more of their body fat on their lower body and more as subcutaneous fat, which is under the skin. That's why men tend to have more fat-related diseases, because it's the visceral fat that collects around the organs which causes that. Whereas women, like I said, have more subcutaneous fat than visceral fat. So like I said before, there's no such thing as spot reduction. So just because you're doing an exercise for a certain area of your body doesn't mean the fat comes from there. And also your body has two sources of fuel. It has fat and it has carbs. And it doesn't matter which one you're using because it chooses what's the best for that exercise. And it doesn't matter because to lose body fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit overall in your day. So consuming fewer calories than your body needs. So even if you are burning fat, if you're eating more than your body needs, then at some point your body's going to store more fat and you're going to put on weight. So it comes down to consuming fewer calories than your body needs. So that either means increasing the amount that your body needs or reducing the amount that you're consuming or doing a bit of both to create what we call a calorie deficit. So your body fat has to fill that gap and then you lose body fat. It's not about the exercises. So another really important point to make is that your body doesn't burn fat, it uses it. And we've come up with that analogy because of things in everyday life. So seeing a piece of wood burning. However, it doesn't work like that in the body. Your body doesn't have a fire inside it. And it uses fat, it utilizes it, it breaks it down. So when you do an exercise and you feel warm, that's not burning, that's just heat output from your body, from the movement and the waste products of producing energy. And in case I haven't said it already, just because you're using fat does not mean you're losing fat. So you could be consuming more than your body needs. So if you're using fat, yes, that's fine, but if you're consuming more than your body needs, at some point it's going to store it, so you're going to either not lose weight or put on weight with that extra food you're consuming because it has to store it somewhere. Just like with a log fire, if you put a log on and burn it, and then put another 2 logs on after when the fire's gone out, there's still 2 logs there. There's 2 more than when you started with because you've put extra on, and even though you've burnt some, you've got 2 left over because they've not been burnt, they're still there. So what you need to lose fat on certain areas of your body, so say your stomach, your back, your hips and your thighs, is a calorie deficit, so consuming fewer calories than your body needs. So as you drop body fat as a whole on your body, it will start taking it from those areas. And like I said before, men and women have a different distribution and also a different distribution of fat, let's call it losing. So men tend to lose fat here first on the abs and then on the arms and then on the legs, whereas women tend to lose fat here on the arms first, then on the abs and then on the legs. That's why it can be stubborn fat on the legs and the thighs and the hips for the women, because it's the last place that the body tends to take it off. So it doesn't mean that it's not coming off, you just need to lose more weight, more fat, and it will come off in the end. So like I said, the only way to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit, so consuming fewer calories than your body needs. So either increasing the amount of calories your body needs by doing more activity, or reducing the amount that you're consuming by eating less food and drinking less calorie-laden drinks. So that creates the gap which your body has to fill with body fat, so that's when you lose body fat. So let's deal with the increasing the amount of energy that your body needs first. So that's just your activity and exercise. And it doesn't need to be anything specific, just something you enjoy so you're consistent with it. And the best way to measure it is use something called a Fitbit, which I've got here, which counts steps. So you could use a Fitbit or even download a free app on your phone and basically just count how many steps you're doing every day and make sure you're doing consistent amount, and then try and increase it and be consistent with that. And so just to give you an example, you could do anything to get your steps up, from running, which would get the steps up faster if you didn't have much time or if you enjoy running, or walking, which might be slower but it's less strenuous, and you can fit it into your day, so when you're walking to places you can get more steps in. So a few more examples might be cleaning your house, or jumping up and down on the spot in the adverts or commercials of TV, or even just taking the stairs instead of the lift. All those things get more steps up. So it doesn't need to be anything which we call exercise, just activity. So that increases the amount of calories your body needs. And just to give you an example of why doing area-specific exercises is not good, I've worked out from the internet that to burn 1 pound of body fat, you'd have to do 17,500 sit-ups. So yeah, probably not a good idea to do that. So walking and running and just doing anything you enjoy, it doesn't need to be those activities, to get your steps up and try and be consistent. So doing 10,000 steps in your day will burn between 300 and 400 calories. So try and start with 10,000. If you can't get to 10,000, that's fine to start with, maybe 5. Just start with measuring first and see how many you do normally, and then try and increase that by, say, 20% every week, and try and aim for 10,000 after a few weeks. And then you'll be consistently burning more calories than your body needs. So on the way to creating a calorie deficit if you're not already. And the reducing the amount that you consume part. This is kind of out of the scope of this video, but I'll just go over it a bit. So to reduce the amount of calories you consume, it doesn't need to be less food, but just less calories, fewer calories. So lots of bulky, low calorie vegetables. Reduce the amount of calories you consume through drinks, because that's quick calories which don't really fill you up, and lean proteins as well. So that will help you reduce the amount of calories you consume while maintaining the amount of bulk of food which keeps you full. So those two things together will increase the amount of calories you're burning and reduce the amount you're consuming, and combined help create a calorie deficit which will lower your body fat over time. So those things will start to reduce your belly, your thighs, your arms, whatever you're trying to reduce. Rather than trying to do exercises for them which don't work, for reasons I've explained why already, you can have much more success with getting those stubborn areas of body fat down. So just 2 final points before I end the video. So women tend to need fewer calories per pound of body weight than men, and that's just because men have more lean muscle mass. So we can actually increase the amount of calories you burn for a woman if you build a bit of lean muscle. You're not going to look muscly, but it's going to help you have that lean toned look and burn more calories just naturally doing nothing. And the way you can do that is a full body workout regularly, say 2 to 3 times a week, which is progressive. So more reps and weight as you do it over the week. So you get stronger and more able to lift the weight, and your body adapts and builds the muscle to support that. So it's this muscle which helps to burn a few more calories. So just like a car with a bigger engine, even if you're idling, so not moving, naturally just to run it, you'll need more energy. So the same with the body. And also, to add to that, you need to be consuming a bit more protein to support the muscle growth as well. So in each of your meals per day, aim for a palm size and thickness portion of protein. So for example, if it was a chicken breast, that size of chicken breast. But just a note, the workout doesn't need to be in the gym, it helps, but especially if you're starting out, it could be a home-based workout just with body weight or bands or something like that. So my final point is about stress. So there is some research that shows that people who are stressed tend to accumulate more fat around their belly. So if you are a person that doesn't sleep enough, if you do too much exercise, if you're super stressed, there's a possibility that it could be causing you to accumulate more body fat around here. However, the most important thing to consider is being in a calorie deficit and reducing your overall body fat levels like I've mentioned already. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope that helped. As always, like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.